Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And on today's episode, we are talking about Pompeii, where breathtaking new paintings are found at the ancient city.
I love any news that comes out of Pompeii.
But
Yeah,
wait, I
this is
thought
a
we already found it. What are we discovering now?
yeah.
So much more.
So, despite Pompeii long being a famous tourist attraction and archaeological site, over a third of the city still remains buried by volcanic ash. So, very slowly, we are uncovering new buildings and new art and architecture and new, shall we say, vaporized people.
Well, yeah, the plaster molds are pretty infamous, where they take these vacancies, these holes, and stuff a bunch of plaster, and they become the remnants of humans. But it's
Fun
very
fact, they also do that for doors too.
It's
Oh yeah,
also
that's
very
great.
interesting for me, though, in that Pompeii has been systematically excavated since the mid 1800s, where they initially were just digging. They were diggy holing, and now they were doing actual archaeological investigations. But the fact that there's still a third of the city left after a century and a half, man,
Well,
Yeah.
like funding sometimes runs out. Also, people like to, take breaks.
they should mechanize the archaeologists.
Yeah.
No, we're
Uh,
not recognizing
no,
archaeology.
no.
I
Not
still
to
get
mention,
anxious seeing
no,
excavators.
but yeah, but also if you go down deeper into the article, I think the fourth picture shows the chief restorer of the project attempting to prevent an archway from collapsing. One of the reasons why we go so slow with a lot of this is because without all the volcanic soil there to hold up these ruins, they don't really have the means to stand upright anymore. They've been degraded to that point. So everything we excavate, we have to then reinforce in order to keep it standing and not just be a pile of rubble. And
Also, earthquakes still happen there.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do love the
Vesuvius
fact
is active.
No,
I
it's not.
I do love the fact
Etna is.
Yeah,
I love the fact that the reception hall, though, that they have rubble stacked in the corner that's from the time of the eruption. They were undergoing renovations when Vesuvius erupted.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, this is one of my
The,
favorite things. You can actively see you can
Life.
see stonecutter marks. You can just see
Mhm.
the different tiles of what's being moved. It's one of those
Yeah,
weird things that we don't always get to see is reconstruction in action, but frozen.
Like, a lot
yeah.
of
And one
archaeology
of
is finding the garbage or what's left over, so seeing stuff in situ like this is incredible.
one of the reasons why there is like this renovations going on in these houses in Pompeii is because I think was it 2 or 3 years prior to the eruption of Vesuvius that ended the city, there was a massive earthquake that did major structural damage to most of the buildings, which were still being repaired by the time the volcano went off.
Wow, a
uh,
lot of effort put
so
in for nothing.
yeah, yeah, that is one of the things is that like a lot of the wealthy people who owned buildings in Pompeii had only just completed the expense of repairing their villas by the time their villas were no more.
Imagine being a real estate investor in Pompeii when it
Oh my
happened.
god.
I'd,
Like, I bought in,
yes, I
properties were super cheap, I flipped a bunch of houses.
now to
I could have
sell
been the
them.
next. I could have been the next Crassus.
Yeah,
It's
then
like
you
hi,
just see the plume of smoke rising from Vesuvius. Like, oh
Oh, what's
no.
that? You're gonna learn a new word today. What's
it's like
that?
hi,
Volcano.
it's like hi, I'd like to bet against the futures on this small idyllic coastal town.
Oh, who a crazy man would do that? He's putting in like 100 denarii. Oh, 100,000 denarii. This man's insane.
Oh my god, the first like true insurance scam is
Yeah.
based off a natural disaster.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. What happened to Pliny the Elder?
Yeah. Anyway, the building that has been excavated, the new one that is on available to see now, the big, I guess, drawing point of it too is the Black Room, which is this beautiful uh long rectangular room with pitch black walls and some lovely artistic frescoes of what I can only describe as a unpaid musician and a depressed woman.
Yeah, these are, I believe, third style, characterized by having this sacro idyllic like image in the center of a plain background with like kind of like fancy decorative borders.
Also,
Yep.
the sad musician is the god Apollo, and he
Yep.
is trying to seduce the Trojan priestess Cassandra.
Yep. Which I have to say, I love Pompey's commitment to the narrative trope that Apollo must never get laid. That is actually a thing in Greco-Roman mythology. No woman, despite the fact that he's the god of music, healing, and the sun, and is the definition of a Olympian pretty boy, will ever sleep with Apollo.
Oh my god, he's an incel.
Oh
His
no!
theme song's
The,
Mr. Brightside.
Hey,
the
that's a bop.
closest he ever gets in
I didn't say
mythology,
it wasn't. I
the, the,
said it fits him.
the closest he ever gets in mythology is, I believe, a dyad's daughter who begs her father to turn her into a tree rather than let this man touch her.
Oh.
He's the guy who walks into the room and goes, "Where's my hug?"
Oh.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah, yeah. Basically,
Yep.
he invented the lute and the lyre, and
Yep.
oh, it was just lovely, lovely, lovely.
Oh, I'm so getting
Yeah, we have
plagued.
some.
But this is a really cool example of what's happening on the daily in Pompeii. Something that you see definitely makes the headlines, but is something that is a true fact, and it's one of the reasons why Pompeii is so prominent and one of the top archaeological sites in the world is because this stuff is so well preserved. It's literally preserved as it was then. You see the insights into life, and you see the everyday artworks that adorn the walls that maybe didn't survive the elements in other places. So it's
And what one thing I want to jump because I just saw it and I can't believe I didn't see it when we were going through this the first time is this is Varys's house. Um, there's actually a bit of graffiti on part of the house that is ARV, which is Aulus Rustius Verus. He's basically the rich dude who owned most of Pompeii when it detonated. So this is one of his houses, which is very cool. It's very fun to find. There's a lot of political propaganda about this man in Pompeii,
Yeah.
which proves that Romans don't need spray paint to say horrible things about you.
They loved their graffiti, but they will also tell you to their face.
Yeah, yeah. Who needs Reddit when you have Romans?
Forum? What do you mean? Yeah, of course we're going to the forum. How else are we going to yell at these people?
Yeah.
it's also really cool to see their plumb bob too,
Oh yeah.
and the
Oh
fact
yeah.
that it still maintains some fibers of the original string.
The original string. Oh yeah, that's fun.
But yeah, this was a special request by Aaron here to talk about, and we happily oblige. So
I love me some news out of Pompeii.
if you guys want to hear more news about Pompeii or other topics, let us know down below, and we will
We
see
probably
you.
have other videos about it too.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.